It begins with a sound, long, rising, mechanical. Kind of sound you never mistake once you've heard it. The nuclear siren. You've seen it in documentaries, in footage from another century, a relic of Cold War drills and black and white newsreels. But now it's here, vibrating through your window panes, echoing across the street, slicing through the air like a blade. The sound isn't just a warning. It's a sentence that starts with one word, now. Your first instinct is disbelief. It has to be a test, a malfunction, a storm alarm maybe. But your phone screen doesn't agree. It glows with a single notification, one line that makes your throat tighten. Emergency alert. Nuclear incident detected. Seek immediate shelter. At that moment, time fractures. The world you knew, the quiet logic of routine, the sense of safety, the unspoken promise that it can't happen here, all of it disappears. You realize you have minutes, maybe less, to make choices that will decide everything that follows. The mind races in chaos, but survival demands clarity. You can't freeze, you can't guess. Every second lost to hesitation is 1 second closer to exposure. If you ever heard a nuclear siren, not on the news, not in a simulation, but outside your own door, there are 5 things you must do. Not in theory, not tomorrow, now. And they must happen in a very specific order, because survival in a nuclear scenario isn't luck, it's sequence. First, you must understand what that siren truly means. It's not simply a blast warning. Depending on your location, it could signal an incoming missile detected by radar, or it could be a fallout alert after a detonation elsewhere. That difference determines whether you have 30 minutes or 30 seconds, but most people never learn it until it's too late. The siren is both a sound and a clock, and once it starts, it never stops in your head. This is what I would do if I heard it right now, step by step, exactly as it would unfold. Part 2, find shelter. The 30-second decision. The siren keeps wailing, and the first instinct is to look outside. Don't. Curiosity is a reflex, but it kills time, and in a nuclear scenario, time is measured not in minutes, but in moments of exposure. The first thing I do is get inside. Not just any building, the right kind. You need mass between you and the sky. Brick, concrete, earth. Walls and floors are shields. Windows are nothing. If I were home, I'd move instantly. No hesitation, no scrolling, no searching for news. The first 30 seconds decide whether you're hit by radiation or shielded from it. I'd grab the essentials already packed. A flashlight, a power bank, bottled water, and a small emergency radio. But not to evacuate, to hide. People think survival means escape. In a nuclear event, it's the opposite. You survive by staying still. The goal is to place layers between your body and the fallout. Every inch of concrete cuts radiation by half. That means basements, interior stairwells, parking garages, anywhere below ground level. If you live in an apartment, move to the middle floors. Top floors catch fallout dust. Ground floors near windows get direct exposure. If you're caught outside, don't run blindly. Look for density. Underground train stations, large stone buildings, parking structures, or even tunnels. A car won't save you. Thin metal is useless. Once inside, shut all doors and windows. Block vents, chimneys, and any airflow from the outside. The invisible danger is not heat or blast anymore. It's dust. Radioactive particles carried by the wind, small enough to pass through hair, clothes, lungs. If you're within the immediate blast zone, there's nothing to be done. But if you're outside it, survival rates skyrocket once you reach shelter. That's why the first decision is not heroic, it's simple. Find cover. Stay low. Stay quiet. That is the first action. Because when the world outside begins to glow, the safest place is not far away. It's below your feet. Part 3. Barricade and seal. The first hour. Once inside, the next challenge begins: containment. The danger is no longer fire or shock waves. It's invisible, tasteless, and drifting towards you in the air. Fallout doesn't roar like wind or rain. It falls silently, like dust from another planet, and it kills by proximity. The rule is clear: every breath must come from clean air. That's why the first hour is about turning whatever space you have into a barrier between you and the outside world. I'd move to the center of the shelter, the most interior room, away from doors and windows. If possible, I'd choose a space below ground level or surrounded by walls on all sides. Hallways, bathrooms, storage rooms, anywhere that forms a dead zone for radiation. Next, I'd seal it. Wet towels under doors, plastic sheets or trash bags taped across vents. If I had duct tape or painter's tape, I'd use it on every crack that leaks daylight. Even small openings matter. Fallout enters through the smallest gaps, settles on surfaces, and turns them into slow poisons. Electronics can stay on for now, but minimize lights, not for stealth, but for calm. Panic burns energy faster than radiation does. Phones will buzz with half-truths, fake news, or silence. Ignore it. Focus only on local emergency broadcasts, the ones with clear instructions about sheltering and evacuation zones. If others are with me, I divide tasks. One person to monitor updates, another to reinforce walls, one to check supplies. Doing keeps panic away. Then comes the hardest part: waiting. The first hour feels endless, but outside, radiation levels rise and fall rapidly. In the first few hours after a blast, they're at their worst, lethal in minutes. But after 7 hours, they drop to 1/10. After 2 days, to 1%. That's why patience is survival. You'll feel the weight of silence pressing from every wall, the distant sound of sirens fading as systems collapse. But that silence is safety. It means the air around you is still. And stillness is the one thing Fallout cannot use against you. In that first hour, the only thing that matters is control. Control of air, of space, of fear. The bomb has already fallen. What happens next depends on how well you can keep the world outside where it belongs. Part 4, survive the fallout. The first 24 hours. The sirens have stopped. The city outside is quiet, unnaturally quiet. No traffic, no aircraft, no distant noise of life. Silence has taken the place of sound, and that silence carries its own kind of terror. This is the stage where most people make their fatal mistake. They think the danger has passed. They want to go outside to check the horizon, to call someone, to see. But radiation doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't glow or burn visibly. It hides in dust, in the wind, in water. The danger is microscopic, invisible, and patient. If I heard a nuclear siren and made it through the first hour in shelter, my next task would be to stay there. And that's the hardest part, resisting the instinct to move. For the first 24 hours, fallout is at its deadliest. The particles descending from the sky can emit gamma radiation strong enough to penetrate walls, floors, and bone. Stepping outside, even for a few minutes, could mean lethal exposure. This is the time to ration everything. Food, water, even movement. You don't know how long you'll be confined, and your energy is your most precious resource. I'd stay in the innermost space, listening for updates. If the shelter has ventilation, I'd avoid running it continuously. Airflow can bring in contaminated particles. If I have pets, they stay inside. Washing them isn't optional. It's survival. Any item exposed to the outside, even briefly, becomes dangerous. At this stage, the mission is simple. Wait out decay. Radiation drops rapidly with time. It's exponential, not linear. Every hour you stay put increases your odds dramatically. After one day, the radiation outside will be only a fraction of what it was. I'd write down the time of the blast, note the sequence of alerts, and prepare a list of essential actions for when it's safe to move. Check for official evacuation corridors, contamination zones, and wind directions. In a crisis this large, governments will respond, slowly, imperfectly, but eventually. Emergency broadcasts will return. Rescue operations will begin. The world will start to reconnect. Until then, survival is not about strength. It's about stillness. Staying inside is not cowardice. It's intelligence. The first 24 hours aren't about living well. They're about making sure you live it all. Part 5. Emerge or endure. The next decision. The second day after a nuclear event feels endless. Time slows, senses dull, and every sound becomes suspicious. But if you've reached the 48-hour mark, the balance shifts. The odds move, quietly, in your favor. At this point, the greatest threat, the immediate radiation burst, has decayed by nearly 99%. The world outside is not safe, but it's survivable. And that means the hardest question arrives. Do you leave or do you stay? This decision cannot be made on impulse. It depends on three things: information, direction, and condition. First, information. Listen carefully to emergency broadcasts. If the message says, "Stay sheltered," stay. If it names evacuation routes, note them, but understand that those routes may already be clogged or contaminated. Never move without confirmation. Second, direction. Fallout travels with the wind. Moving toward the blast is suicide. Moving perpendicular to the wind gives you the best odds. In North America and Europe, that usually means heading south or west, away from prevailing currents. But every situation is unique. Know the wind. It decides everything. Third, condition. You, your family, anyone with you, how strong are they? How much water do you have left? Are you already contaminated? Symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and burns mean it's already in your system. If so, evacuation may not save you. Shelter may give you a chance to last long enough for help to arrive. If I were in that moment, 2 days after hearing the siren, I'd wait until at least the 72nd hour before stepping outside. And when I did, I'd do it carefully, covered completely. Long sleeves, mask, hood. I'd brush off any dust before re-entering. Radiation is cruelly simple. It can't kill what it can't touch. Outside, the world would look almost normal. The same streets, the same horizon, just quieter. But nothing would truly be the same. The siren that once signaled warning would now echo memory, the sound that divided the world into before and after, 5 actions. Now that's all it takes to tip the balance between panic and survival. Find shelter, seal it, wait, protect, decide. If you ever hear that sound, remember this: survival isn't luck, and it isn't fear. It's awareness. It's calm in the noise. Because once the siren ends, the silence is yours to survive.